Good morning, Flosstube. I am Tamara. I am PD Stitcher here on YouTube and over on Instagram. And this is my channel about cross stitch. It's been a while. There's been a lot going on. I decided since it has been a while, I'm not reviewing everything I've done in the, 4 months since I've seen y'all, hung out with y'all. And we're just going to look at what I worked on in September and look forward in October. And there's Buster. He just jumped up onto the bed that's next to me, and then Milo, is also over there. So there's Buster sitting and Milo's laying down. Welcome. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you'll see something you like and continue to visit with me. Hold on just one moment. Alright, I'm back. I don't know what Buster saw out the window, but he decided he needed to whine about it. If you are returning, welcome back. I'm sorry for my absence, and I'm glad you returned. I'll get into kind of some life stuff at the end. Like I said, I'm just gonna kind of share what I worked on in September, and some of those things were things obviously I worked on between the last time I saw you and September as well. So some things will show a good bit of progress since the last time I've shared them with you. I may have a finish in my basket to share. Literally, I decided, hey, I'm going to do a floss tube this morning, and I pulled out my basket that has all my whips in it from September. I don't even know what's in it, so... Well, I mean, I know what's in it, but I don't know what all's in the basket, so we'll see what I have to share this morning. So let's go ahead and get started. I do have notes on my computer, so if I'm looking down here, it's to give you, like, fabric and those type things. And I apologize if y'all can hear Buster whining. Buster, please stop. Thank you. The boys have decided to join me this morning. By the way, today is Saturday, October 5th. And it's about 8:30 in the morning. We have a soccer tournament to go to later today for my youngest. So I'm trying to get this in before we have to leave. So my first project lives in this So Much to Love Mickey Mouse bag. Absolutely love it. And there's people up and moving around, so you might hear people and see dogs going back and forth. This is Rosetta by Ink Circles. Some of these I don't have cover photos printed, so let's see if I can pull up some sort of something for y'all so that you can see them. So here's the cover photo. But I'm not doing it in one color. And y'all, excuse me, I've got a tickle in my throat. I'm using a different color for each little medallion. Like I said, I just decided last minute to go ahead and film. So I haven't unzipped anything. I've not pulled off Q-snap. So, excuse me. So here's where it is. This is being stitched on 40 count Grace Notes Fabrics Sparkling Grape. So each medallion is a different color. This is Gentle Arts Peacock. I believe this is Week Style Works Love. I don't remember off the top of my head what the others are. But it basically is teal, pink, green, purple. And then it'll be purple, teal, pink, green, and then it will be green, purple, teal, pink. And I know it won't be finished this year, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to finish this by maybe mid-year next year. I had started this previously, and it got stained, the original. The first one I did got stained on the fabric really bad, and I couldn't get it out. And all of the all of the flosses that I'm using are hand-dyed. So when I did try to get it out, then the floss colors ran, and I started over in January of this year. So I've done almost, I think I've done 50% now, because I've done 50% of the medallions and then a good bit of the borders. And the borders are all being stitched in Week Style Works Kohl. Alright, the next one I have is probably one that's going with me today to work on at the soccer tournament. I do a lot of stitching at my daughter's soccer games. And this is in a Garon Totten Bags butterfly bag. And this is Have Faith by Cottage Garden Samplings. And I am stitching this with Carrie, the Patient Stitcher. Carrie, I have not gotten very far, but I am hoping to get a little bit further this weekend. I took this to the last game she had to, which is why it still looks like this. Ooh, did not want to show y'all the pattern, but I keep the pattern underneath the magnet, so it's easier for me to just have everything right there. My Charlie Brown and Snoopy needle minder that I got from Vic at Stitch and Button. And as you can see, I'm still in the middle of stitching, so it's still attached. But I've done the house and started on the leaf. And this is being stitched on 40 count pewter Zweigart. It doesn't have a fabric dyer, it's just 40 count pewter. But I'm loving it. It's good stitching. 40 count is a little bit small to work on at soccer if there's not good sun, but the last time we had really good sun, in fact it was 104, feels like, during her soccer game 2 weeks ago. I don't think it's going to be that hot today, but it's looking pretty good and sunny, so hopefully I will have good sunshine to stitch on 40 count today. So this one will go to the soccer game with me, and hopefully she has a game at 1:45 and another game at like 5:30. So hopefully I'll be able to get some stitching. It keeps me from yelling. I cheer, but it keeps me from like getting so wrapped up in the game that I need to like yell. I don't need to yell. It's not my job to yell. So my next one is in a nice little Amazon bag with a cute little corky cupcake. And this is Cardinal in the Snow. Let me pull up the cover photo for that. It is by X Squared Cross Stitch on Etsy. And this is what it's going to look like. I've not gotten anywhere near stitching the cardinal. I'm still in background. I am stitching this on 28 count Easy Grid. All of my full coverages are on Easy Grid fabric because I don't want to grid it myself, and I stink at counting, so I don't trust myself to count without grids for a full coverage. But here's where we are. I have a little hedgehog needle minder that I got from Fire Poppies back when it was open, before it closed last year, or the year before, I can't remember. But it's all backgrounds, blues and purples. Hold on just one moment. I'm going to see if I can get the lighting better. There we go. I think I got the lighting a little bit better so you can see all the purples and blues in that. I don't work on this often because it's on a paper pattern, and so it's a little bit harder for me to do, and I think I need to let this air out of the bag because it's smelling a little musty because it's been sitting in the bag for a while. I did work on it. As you can see, there's still string just sparked on the needle. I did work on it a little bit in September. I think I put in about 200 stitches. That's not going to get me anywhere close to finishing in any like long-term situation, but closer. So the next one is another one that I've been working on at Soccer. This is Hands-On Designs, A Year of Celebrations. I'm working on January. This is being stitched on 32 count flax Belfast linen. Again, I have the pattern under a needle minder, so I need to take that off. And this is where we are. I have the snowman. At the last time I took this with me to soccer, I spent the first soccer game just undoing the snowman because I had him over here and not centered under the snowballs. And so he's been restitched. His scarf has been stitched. It needs the little end pieces back stitched. I think all that's left is his nose and arms, and then the back stitching, and January will be done. Which is why I'm not taking this one with me today, because we have 2 games and I'm pretty sure I can finish that in one. And then I'll be sitting there for one. And I don't want to take too much stitching. So I'll take the other piece today. This one, hopefully I'll finish at home and then be ready to move on to February. And then it will become my next. It'll go back to being my travel stitching. I also take pieces with me when I sit at her practices. She plays for a team an hour and a half away. So, and her practices are at 7:15 at night. So there's not a lot of places for me to go while she's practicing. So I just sit in the car. I have a little light that I take with me, turn the light on, do some stitching in the car while she's practicing. This next one, oh yes, I do have a finished issue. I'll save this one for later. The next one is in this really, really cute bag that my friend Carrie from the Patient Stitcher made for me. It is I'm looking for the cover photo. It is Petite Rainbow Row by CW Designs. If you are new here, I live in South Carolina. Charleston is one of my favorite places in the world, and I love all the architecture down there. So I have to stitch this, obviously, because it's Charleston architecture. So I've done 3 houses, and I'm about a quarter way done with house number 4. This is being stitched on 32 count X Jude baby sheep. And when it says Petite Rainbow, this is little. This is 32 count. And yet these houses are still really tiny. I almost did this on 40 count. I cannot even imagine how small those houses would have been. But it's looking really good. I'm really excited. I like this one a lot. I don't take this one very often with me to stitch at soccer because the fabric is such a light color that I don't want it to get dirty. I tend to keep my hands clean even if we're at a soccer game, but you know, you never know. The next one is housed in this bag from Barefoot Needle Art with the patriotic butterflies, and it is Liberty by Pickle Barrel Designs. Here's the cover photo. This one also was a really good soccer one, but now I'm almost done. So I'm pretty sure what's left, which is the 1776 and the last little bit of the border. That won't even take me an hour total. So I'm probably not taking that to a game. I'm just going to finish it. That is a plan for this month, which we will talk about a little later. But it's so close. Look, it's just literally 4 numbers and this much of the border. I don't know why I get this close to finishing something and then I put it aside. The last... Nope, I have 2 more to share. Okay, so the next to last one has been my This has been my focus full coverage for 2 years now. This is Christmas 2 by Ciro Marchetti. And it is on 25 count easy grid. And this is my oldest whip. And I'm going to try and take off the Q-snap, or part of the Q-snap, so I can kind of show y'all how much I've gotten done. Oh, well, I need to probably take off the whole Q-snap anyways and move it, so let's go ahead and do that. Thank you for being patient with me while I do this. Please forgive any marks that you see on the fabric. They're going to get covered by stitching. It's my oldest whip. It's been around for a while, and some pieces have gotten a little grimy, but here is, and you saw I just took it out of the Q-snap, so it's not like I've ironed it. So it's a little bit bunchy, but I have a good bit down the side, and then the window and the bookshelf. And then I have gone all the way across the top. So this is as wide as it is going to be. And don't those ornaments just look so good? Y'all, up close when I'm working on it, I don't like the coverage because it's on 32. It's on 25 count, not 28. I moved to 28. After I started this one, I started doing them on 28 with 1/1, and this is 25 with 2 strands tent stitch. But back here, you can't tell that the coverage is bad at all. Now, if I were to bring it in, you can see, a little bit of white. But if somebody, when I finish this, because I will finish this and get it framed and put up on a wall at some point, if they're that close to my picture or my stitching to see the white coming through, they need to back up. Because this looks pretty good. I haven't taken it out of the Q-snap and like really looked at it in a while. So I'm excited. That makes me happy today. I hope you all enjoyed seeing that with me. And I forgot to share. There is a needle minder, because as you can tell, I park threads. I know that drives some people crazy. I apologize if that is you, but that is the method that works for me. My needle minder is from the Frosted Pumpkin, back from when they did the Nutcracker Sal 4 or 5 years ago. So I love it, and it goes well with this piece. Right, the last whip I'm going to share with y'all is World of Disney 1, and it is by ZAnna Cross Stitch on Etsy. It is my largest whip, and if I live to be 150, I will finish it, because it is slow going. And this one, because it is so big, I'm doing on 32 count, 1/1. So I didn't have to buy like an entire bed sheet, but it is a little bit, I don't know how I feel about, you see how it's like really puckery when it's up close, but then when you bring it back, you don't notice. So again, maybe it's just that when I finish this when I'm 150 years old and I frame it, people just need to stay back. But I've only finished this one little corner. So, yeah. It's going to take me till I'm 150. Again, I part my threads. It works for me. It makes me happy, because then I can go back and just fill them. Alright, I had a finish that I will share. It was ironed at one point after I finished it. And this is in a Vicky at Stitch and Button bag. This was her Christmas Advent bag last year. And this is Royal Nutcrackers by Bobbie G Designs. And it is finished. And y'all, the back stitch. Look at all that back stitch. But, oh my gracious, it makes this piece just perfect. It brings out all the detail in all of the nutcrackers, and it's gorgeous with the back stitching. As tedious as the back stitching was. And this was stitched on 32 count Picture This Plus Faun. So there we go. And maybe YouTube, you want to use this as like my my little button. That'd be great. And then I have one item. I think that's all the haul I have. Y'all, I've not been buying much. So in the 4 months since you see me, this is the haul I have. I got this from Vic at Stitch and Button. Oh, look at that peacock bag. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? And then I also got this Mickey Mouse bag. Again, is that not so cute? And the inside, I love the inside of this. I love Mickey Mouse, if you couldn't tell. I love all things Disney and Nutcrackers and Christmas. So that pretty much sums me up. That's all for the stitching. So I did work on more things, I promise, in the four months, I think, since I've last visited with you. But that would have just been a whip parade at that point. So we're just going to do September. Plans for October. I'm trying to make progress on Christmas 2 and Rosetta every month. So those two definitely. I would like to get a page finish on Cardinal in the Snow. Excuse me. I want to finish Liberty. It's this close. I'm hoping to finish the January part of a year celebrations. I've got a couple other pieces that I would like to get some work in on. So hopefully I'll be able to share a few different pieces at the end of this month. I'm thinking I might go to once a month filming for right now. It's just, life's been busy and a little crazy. So where have I been? If you were just here for the stitching, thank you for joining me. I'm going to head into some life stuff. So if you're not interested in that, and I understand, thank you for visiting with me, and I hope you'll return. If you are interested in life stuff, here we go. So the last time I saw y'all was like the beginning of summer. My one daughter had come home from college. My other daughter had left. I have 5 children, if you're new here. I have 5 children. I have a son who is a nurse at one of the local hospitals. He lives at an apartment like 2 minutes away. I have another daughter who is married and doing her thing. She also lives in town. And then she has a twin who still lives here and goes to college here in the town we're in. Then I have my next one is a sophomore at Clemson, and my youngest is a junior in high school. The last 4 are girls. I have 1 boy. So my one who is in her senior year at school here in our town at her university, this past summer she was a camp. She worked at a summer camp in North Carolina where she was responsible for the adventure part, where they had like ropes course and zip line and all kinds of fun stuff. So she did that all summer. So she wasn't here. She did come home a couple of weekends, so I'd go up and get her, bring her home, because she really didn't need a car up there. Hold on just one moment. And then, like I said, my child who is in her sophomore year at Clemson came home for the summer. So it was very exciting. I got to spend time with her. She is a runner. If you are new here, she runs for Clemson. She runs cross country and track. And last December, January. So in December she was injured. In January she got the diagnosis that she had a stress fracture in her femur in her right leg. So she didn't get to run all spring. She didn't get to compete in any track. She didn't even get to like train. She could do cross training and things like that, but she couldn't run. She was finally cleared to run when she came home for summer. And she did some running over the summer, and then she started having pain again, but in her other leg. And when she went back to school in August, she has a stress fracture in her left femur. So she is now starting the recovery process for that. And so she's not running this fall for cross country. So that's been a lot of, just mental stress for me, physical stress and mental stress for her. Then my youngest, like I said, she's a junior. She plays soccer. She does play for a team that is located an hour and a half away. So practices are an hour and a half away. So that's 3 hours of driving plus an hour and a half of being at practice 2 times a week. And then games on the weekends. And even when she has a home game, the home game is an hour and a half away. It's close for everybody who lives there, but not for us. So a lot of traveling. And I've been working a lot. If you are new here, I work for the Parks, Recreation, and Sports Tourism Department for the town that I live in, the city that I live in. And I'm a office assistant, but I do a lot of work with like the registrations and writing grants and doing bid proposals for us to bring in sports tourism things, as well as I am also in my side hustle, as we call it, I'm also a referee assigner for soccer games here in our town. So and this summer I also went and got my referee license. I have not reffed a game. I'm probably not going to referee a game, but I have it so that I can be a better assigner and know what my referees are supposed to be doing. I know what a referee is supposed to be doing, but this gave me a little bit more insight and the official information. So I did that this summer. And like I said, I've been working. Sports tourism isn't just sports. We had this past week, we brought in the Spin Doctors. If you are my age, you know who they are. If you're a lot younger than me, you probably don't, but they are a band from the early 90s. And they came and did a concert here, and we were responsible. We brought them in. Well, I did not. My boss did. I did a lot of social media things and things like that to help draw in people. And I worked the concert. The nice thing about working the concert is I got to attend the concert, so that was fun. I get to work, get paid, and get to attend to see this. I got to see the Spin Doctors in concert, so that was a lot of fun. Other than that, everything's going really well. I love my job. So it doesn't bother me to work a lot because I love it. I've showed you all the boys. They're doing good. They're not nearly as crazy. If you've been here for a while, you know Milo could be a little destructive since he's the one that, caused me to break my hand a year and a half ago. He's calmed down a lot. He's starting to grow out of the puppy phase and it become more kind of, he's still not a chill dog. He still has a lot of energy and he loves to run and play, and thankfully though he's learned to kind of do it appropriately so he's not causing me bodily injuries. But other than that, everything's going great. I hope you all are having a great fall. Like I said 2 weeks ago, it feels like temperatures of 104 at my youngest soccer game. So today it's only supposed to be a high of 80, I think 82, so not too bad. I do live in South Carolina. I live on the eastern border of South Carolina, so when Hurricane Helene came through, we got some wind and some rain, but nothing like what western South Carolina, western North Carolina, and Tennessee, and Georgia and Florida have have dealt with. And if you are in those areas, my prayers are with you. One of the things I was responsible for was I coordinated with the our local American Red Cross to come, and we set up a website, a joint website with our city and the concert and the Red Cross, so that concert goers could make donations to help those people who are still suffering from the effects of Hurricane Helene. I'm gonna link that in my notes below. I will put the link to that Red Cross page if you are at all, and please don't feel like it's a requirement. It's not, but if you feel led to donate, please do. There are a lot of people suffering, and I've heard people say, well, they just weren't prepared. I don't think you can prepare for what they went through. Nobody expected it to be what it was, especially not in the mountains. You don't get terrible hurricanes in the mountains. They usually have fizzled out a good bit by the time they get there. So, nobody can prepare for that, and my heart breaks for those people, and I'm just praying that, whatever I can do to help, I will do, and if you, like I said, if you feel led to help and donate, please do. And if you don't feel led to do it there, but you have other opportunities to give or to reach out to those who are hurting, please do so. And on that, y'all have a great week, a great month of October, and I am planning to be back at the beginning of November. Y'all have a great one. Happy stitching. Bye.